Coach Huseman, William Mary's kind of been fighting it here the last few weeks. I wonder what, in your view, makes them still dangerous as the preseason favorite.
Well, obviously they're dangerous because they got an unbelievable defense. They keep them in every game. It's the best defense we'll face all year, no question about that. We're going to have to execute offensively, to move the football and score points. You know, they've had some skill guys out this year. We expect their quarterback to play this week, Wilson to play this week, and we expect it. He's a dynamic player, and they're good up front on offense. So, we understand it's going to be a challenge, no question about that.
Could you take the temperature of your team? Pressure situation here.
I mean, they're excited. They know what we're playing for. I mean, if I sat here and acted like we weren't playing for the Capital Cup and the CA Championship, these guys are really smart. They understand what's got to happen here this week and how important this game is.
You adopted a playoff mentality 5 weeks ago-ish. Have you seen that help them, adjust to nerves that might come along with a game like this normally?
It might, yeah. I mean, we talked about, like you said, 5 weeks ago, we said we were in playoff mode at that point in time. William Mary's been in playoff mode. So, I mean, this has got a lot on the line here this week.
How big is that? You've been on both sides of this. Do these kids look at this as a rivalry, or are they focused strictly on this year, what this year means, what this game means for this year?
No, it's a big rivalry, no question. Coaches, fans, players, everybody understands the significance of this game in a rivalry game, no question about that.
Have you ever had the kind of year at quarterback that you guys have had this year, just with all the ins and outs?
I don't know. It's been kind of weird. No, I've never had to play 4 quarterbacks in a year.
Start 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, so I've never had that happen. But the problem you get into is not only playing guys, but how much prep work they get leading into a game when they got to be thrown into a game. At Stony Brook, we played 2. And one had limited practice, one didn't practice at all. And then we come in, we're not sure about Kyle, and then we come into the main game or the I can't remember, Hampton game, and so we're going to play the one guy, and the other guy's kind of getting reps, but he has to do scout team. We got 2 quarterbacks that aren't in, so it was tough leading up to that one. But no, never have. I didn't even realize start 4 different guys in a game. I don't think Jackson has started a game though. Hardy.
Came in.
Yeah, he's played, but we've played 4 quarterbacks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything about your new quarterbacks coach throughout this?
No, not really. I mean, you got to coach who you got out there, and I liked what our quarterback did last week, no question, and that's kind of what we envisioned. But it's been so hard to get those types of things just because of the interchanging quarterbacks, and do we have him, do we not have him, and so I think Kyle has been healthy the last couple weeks and played like he's capable.
Has your playoff mentality that you guys adopted 5 games ago helped you guys kind of understand and get ready for this final game maybe a little bit easier with maybe fewer nerves than you might have if you didn't have your backs against the wall every week?
Yeah, 100%. I think having the mentality of win and go home for 5 weeks now definitely takes a lot of pressure off this game because we've been doing it for so long now. Obviously the Capital Cup and the CAA Championship, you think about that a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's just another football game that we've been having to play for 5 weeks now.
How gratifying was last week for you personally, given the injuries and everything that you went through? Because at one point this season, you weren't sure you were ever going to get back on the field.
Yeah, it was very gratifying. I was very thankful for the opportunity, and really just how the coaches handled it the entire time. Whether that was letting me go in and run and all that stuff, but having a whole game to go in there and really be with the guys and run the offense was really fun, and I was really grateful, and just really glad we got the win.
What is it about William Mary has not had the season that everybody thought they would have when you start the season ranked number 4. But why are they still a dangerous team specifically this week?
I think they're a dangerous team because they just got a ton of good players around there. They got really good coaches, and they got their defense is legit. So I think that they got the talent to do it. I know they had some unfortunate losses, and so have we. So we're kind of in the same boat as them earlier on in the season, and they're very much a dangerous team, and they're going to give us their best shot.
How did you sustain your injury, and how did it affect your play?
I sustained my injury just through like a Fast Friday walkthrough, just throwing the football, just had my ribs start hurting, and then woke up the next morning and couldn't move. And that's why Coach Huseman and then before Stony Brook didn't know I wasn't going to play until 15 minutes before the game, because I thought, well, maybe it's just like I slept wrong on it. But it affected me a little bit to where like I couldn't throw the football for a couple of weeks. And working back into it was definitely a little bit different. Like I had to make sure that I wasn't changing my throwing motion, trying to compensate to get out of the pain. But overall, if anything, I think it might have actually helped me mentally with just going through some of those trials and tribulations.
Is that as freak an injury as you could ever imagine?
Yeah, it was so unexpected, and even the trainers were joking with me. They were saying like, this is a freak injury. There's nothing you can really do to prevent it. It's just, egos might have had a little built up scar tissue that tore, and then it's just they don't know why it happened, but they were sure to get me healthy as soon as they could.
Right side?
Left side.
Left side.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you've got a new position coach here this year who's obviously had to juggle a lot in that room. What has that room been like this year, and what has your interactions with Jake been like?
Coach Huseman is an amazing coach. I'm sure he would tell y'all this is his first year coaching quarterbacks, and he's had to have 4 guys go out there and start a game. So that's credit to him just for having 4 guys ready to go in at any moment. He's personally been great to me because he's taught me how to run the ball, how to read blocks, and how to really tell before the play what kind of block the offensive line is going to do. That's stuff that I really never picked up on before him. And just our room is probably one of the best QB rooms to be in. I mean, every guy in there is rooting for each other. Although we're competing with each other, we also want to see each other succeed. And we go watch film together. We're not trying to hide in the get away from everyone so we can get a little extra work in. We bring everyone else along with us. So it's a really friendly room and very competitive room.
How impressed were you with what a true freshman such as Camden was able to do? Maybe he wasn't even expecting to play this season.
Yeah. And
then to go out there in his first college game and throw half a dozen touchdown passes?
It was very impressive, and I was so proud of him just to see that, and just to see his progression since he's been here. From seeing him in the spring till now is night and day, and he continues to make strides. He continues to push me, and I hope I continue to push him too. And I think with that level of competition, we're gonna see the best that we can be.
With Coach Huseman, does he come with a little extra credibility just given how well he played the position at Chattanooga?
Oh yeah, he definitely does, and just knowing what kind of beast he was running the football made me want to run it even harder. I try to, at least. No, but it's always great to learn from a coach who's done it before, and that's something that he's done. He doesn't really like to talk about his days that much, but we try to get some stories out of him, and he was a gamer and obviously a very successful quarterback, someone that you would want to model.
Right. And it's not like it was 25 years ago either.
Yeah.
He's recent vintage.
Yeah, he could have been some of our teammates if the 6-year thing was still around back in the day.
You just talk about that play last week, and if it was your choice to run or preordained there.
So we've practiced that for a couple of weeks now, that sort of look where we get 2 people sort of on the outside of Owen and Ted, and one with Xander. And yeah, it wasn't called that look, but it was the exact look that we'd seen on practice for a couple of weeks, and Elon do it quite a bit. So yeah, I just made the call pretty quickly to run the ball, and yeah, once I knew I got outside, I knew I'd have a bit of space. So yeah, pretty lucky that it panned out, because there was a few things that could have gone wrong looking back in the film, but yeah, lucky it worked out.
As you look back at your beginning as a punter. What drew you to Pro Kick Australia, A, to start with, and B, could you sort of look at this experience you've had here so far?
So what drew me to Pro Kick is just it's so different here than anything you can get, I guess, around the world. There's no sport, school, social combination that you can get at college football, and I think it's really special. And I think the wave of Aussies that were here before me sort of inspired me quite a bit to get here. And I guess my transition now is just trying to get better every week and just understand the game more on a technical level. I think our kicking doesn't change all too much when we go from Pro Kick to here, but for us it's just making sure we understand the game a little bit more, scenarios, when to kick a little higher, when to kick a line drive, when to kick it off one step, when we can roll out. So yeah.
You have not been home since you arrived in June of 2021, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And perhaps you could assess your experience here in those years, and if it's what you thought it would be, much different or very similar.
Wow, yeah. I think that a lot of the preconceived ideas is that it's going to be like all fun and games when you get here. I think that they do a great job of marketing American football, so it is amazing. But I think that it's definitely a lot more challenging than what you sort of think it's going to be. Especially just balancing everything. School here is difficult, and it's a massive reason why I came here as well. So just trying to juggle all of that has been a challenge, but then it makes it so much sweeter when you do win and things happen. So I'm definitely, probably shocked at maybe how difficult it was, but it's 10 times worth it because of the fact that we know that how much everybody puts in, and when we get a win at the end of the day, it means 10 times more.
You mentioned that you made the call kind of at the last second, last minute. What happens when you get to the sideline if that play doesn't work?
It's probably a plane ticket straight back to Melbourne, to be honest. I joke about that. We joke about that a fair bit. If I didn't get that first down, I think Coach Husman would have just ripped up my visa and I'd be back in Melbourne right now. So, yeah.
What actually did happen when you got to the sideline?
I was in shock, really, because obviously it wasn't called, and I sort of got myself in a bit of trouble before I had to make the dodge. So I thought there was probably an element of like, thank goodness that worked. But it was nice, everybody was really excited. My parents were in the crowd too, yelling and screaming, so that was really cool. But it probably took me 10 minutes to know, oh wow, I did that. And then it probably took to the end of the game to realize that was actually a pretty decent run. So yeah, in the moment I was shocked. I didn't really have much emotion. I was just like, kind of like, did I just do that?
Hey, you mentioned your folks. You walked on senior day. It is your intention to return, is it not? It
is. But my parents, they're not too sure if they're going to be here next year. So I thought it would be a good time to have them here, because they've been here the last 2 years. So, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of effort to get all the way to Australia, from Australia to here. And we'd penciled this in early because of the whole waiver thing as well. There was a long time where, this could have been my last season. So I'm very thankful that it's not.
Your run was one of several that this entire team has had. Every week it seems like one or two different guys step up and make a play like that gets your entire sideline up and moving. Has that been kind of a locker room mentality of you guys? Someone's going to make a play. It might as well be me, or it can be you, or it's going to be somebody each week.
I think those sort of plays just come a little naturally. You practice certain looks and certain plays a lot, but you're not thinking like, I'm going to be the person that makes a play. You sort of have to play the game and let the game come to you. Like, I didn't go out there on that punt and think that I'm going to run the ball here. They still showed, like before they all ran back, they still showed the exact same look that pretty much every team shows to us. So, yeah, you just got to understand the game, and that obviously comes with just practice and watching film.
The way you punt, you kind of get a running start. I mean, it's not like you're back there with your foot up in the air. You're kind of moving forward, so you get a little bit of a head start, right?
Yeah, I guess that's one of the benefits of being an Aussie-style punter. We're sort of running before, we punt the ball, but still, mostly it's 3 steps. That was just one of those ones where I saw a lot of guys drop back, and I guess the Aussie rules background, like I know how to slow down or go a little faster and be able to control the speed of my feet before I kick the ball.
That left leg's got some battle scars. Where are they from?
Yeah, that's from, I got pushed just out here. I got pushed like right before I got out of bounds, and then I guess I must have slid on that side. And and that there's a fair bit there, but I don't really remember like how I fell. I just fell and looked down and I was bleeding my whole leg.
Was that from practice?
No, that was from the fake
from
on
the
Saturday.
fake,
Yeah.
okay.
This Saturday would be big anyway, just because it's William and Mary. But when you throw in a chance for a share of the title, chance for a spot in the playoffs, you guys have kind of, with your mentality that you've had the last 5 weeks, is it a little bit easier to get ready for something like this with everything that's on top of it?
Yeah, it definitely adds a little, gives you a little more hype to it. Makes you want to work a little bit harder. But I mean, we always work hard. I think it's important for us though to just treat it like it's a big game because the next game. That's been our motto. Don't try to do anything too special, but yeah, it definitely adds to it.
They're not the team that they thought they might have beginning of the season, but they're still 6-4. They just beat a Hampton team that beat you guys here. You guys are different too. But what is it about them that you guys have to worry about on Saturday?
I think they're a good team. They're fundamentally sound. They always have a good game plan for us. The physicality, and then like you said, obviously the rivalry, the hype to it. I think that always adds to it. It's always a close game. It's always a battle. Always comes down to the end. So, yeah, I think that's the most thing we have to worry about.
We think about them wanting to keep you guys out of the playoffs, wanting to ruin everything for you. Do you guys ever think about that or talk about it, or is that just something that fans and media talk about?
I mean, we have thought about it. Obviously, we know that they're not really in the race anymore. But, yeah, we definitely have thought about that. They do have a chance to knock us out of the race, and they definitely probably want to. It'd be nothing better for them. So, but, yeah, I guess that adds to it. We've thought about it, but it's not that big of a deal.
Do you guys go online at all and look at playoff projections?
Try to stay away.
Honest,
Nah, I have before. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, everyone has. We know. Obviously, they released the scenarios like the other day or something like that. It was way too many of them. Obviously, I just look for the one where
about the tie.
Yeah, so obviously I look for the one where we win. That's about it. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Have you ever been through a season where there was so much over or churn at quarterback? You know, so many different guys under center.
Yeah, never before, but shoot, it's not. I mean, it's been working. So yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Is each guy different? Have the guys around, running back, receiver, O-line, have they had to adjust as each quarterback came in?
I think they have. Yeah, they had to get used to the different quarterbacks and how they play. Also, the wide receivers, obviously, you have to build up a chemistry with each wide receiver. So, I don't know. I guess I'm not really on the offensive side much, but in practice, obviously, they probably build up the chemistry so that they know whoever's in has the possibility to be great with the wide receivers out there. But, yeah, I definitely think that played a factor. That's something that plays a factor when each quarterback comes in.
Yeah, I just want, from a free safety's point of view, as you're practicing against them, what have you noticed as the difference, among the quarterbacks?
I mean, they're all good. They can all throw the ball. Honestly, they can all pretty much run the ball too. So, yeah, I would say they're pretty athletic. All pretty good in the pocket. All good at making reads. Yeah, I'd say they're a pretty talented group.